Second half of my Tuesday doubleheader here. Of course, just did a DraftKings draft on the Stochastic channel. Now it's time to hop over to the world of drafters. We're going to compete for our share of $500,000 up top. It's a big prize pool as well in their best ball championship. $20 entry fee in this one as well. And I'm already in a draft room here. The bad news, though, is that the room is not filled yet. Or I guess the good news, if you guys want to draft along, it's be 7 spots in this room if you want to play on drafters. And of course, use that promo code SPLASH on drafters. $100 deposit match. In fact, why don't we look at the tournament structure while we wait for this room to fill? You'd see 500K to first place, 200K to second, 100K to third. And the big thing here is there are no playoff pods on drafters. It is a total points format. So all of your score for the entire season is going to come into play there. And I've had my best finishes on drafters in the last couple of years, finishing top 10 in their playoff best ball tournament with only 3 entries that I did on stream last year. Also finished top 100 in their big drafters best ball tournament, the big money one that used to be called the Drafters Million. Now it's their best ball championship. So I've had good results here. I think you guys will as well. Your money will go further, so check it out. But while we have some time, while I wait for this room to fill, let's look at some slow drafts I have going on Underdog. Why not? Got some GMs here. Shout out to CLN hanging out. Now the Fantasy Sports Bonanza rebranding there. Interested to see that. But join this room if you can, guys. I don't know how to get, how do I get back in the room so I could say, you can see how many spots are available. Nope. None of these working. All right. Well, I'll just have to use magic to find out when I'm in the room. But I have some slow drafts going in the Schnauzer, so we'll make some picks here. Why not? Here's what I've got going in the Schnauzer right now. Let's go to the draft. And please hop into that drafters draft right now. Drafters, best ball championship. Get in there. And if we got, yeah, you made it in, Trader Joe. We got a lot of room for people to get in. Oh, dog dropping bones. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Here's your bone. Please don't drop it again. All right, so this team we've got here in the Schnauzer. No QB, Agenti, Walker, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard start. We got Malik Neighbors, Tet McMillan, DJ Moore, Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed. So like the 5 receivers here, need to start getting something in a tight end. But really, with no Tampa Bay, Jonnu Smith wouldn't be my first click. Jalen Warren to give us another. Ugh. The QBs being gone here is not my fave. Really would have thought getting Caleb Williams or Brock Purdy back would be a logical thing. You can hop into drafters, by the way, guys, please. I'm just doing picks here because we got to do something while I'm on screen. Bateman, I don't mind. All right, I mean, I'm going to have to hope I could figure out my QB situation later on. Not feeling great about it currently, but I'm going to take the Jonnu Smith value at this point. Jonnu Smith, latest reports, as I talked about in the last stream I did as well. Basically, Pittsburgh doesn't want to pay the contract for him in addition to paying the draft picks they'd have to give up to get him. So basically, it seems like Jonnu Smith's going to come back no matter what. All right, so this, this pick we just made. Thanks for telling me I still had the pick to make. Okay. No, it's giving me, here we go. Okay, now this one as well, we're on the clock. This is a 0-2-4-1 build. Jahmyr Gibbs, Travion Henderson. A receiver, McConkey, Rashee Rice, Jameson Williams, Matthew Golden, George Kittle. Nothing too exciting here. Getting Jared Goff is already off the table. Somebody took Goff. Am I stupid? No, Goff's still here. All right, well, given the fact we just got sniped really early on QB, I want to go 20 picks for Goff, but I could justify it. So I know this is not the most sexy content, but got to wait for this drafters draft to fill, and I have no clue how many spots are available as well. It's a great content here. Upcoming. It doesn't even tell me on the app how many people are in this draft room. So we're doing great. We're doing great. Well, eventually it'll start. Okay. 2 to go. Thank you, I am the KY. Please keep tabs on it. 2 spots left on drafters, guys. Please hop in. You would not get to see me labor over my slow draft picks if it were not thanks to our friends at Drafters. So please, thank them for this content. Go to drafters.com. Use the promo code SPLASH or download the Drafters app. Okay, adding another receiver would not be bad. I should take more Josh Downs. A little bit of an ADP discount on him. I feel like I've been really Colts blind so far this year. But the Colts are certainly a team. If they get Daniel Jones starting, he might be accurate enough to make those guys functional. So we're going to go with the receiver here and hope we don't get sniped like crazy at QB. That seems to be the case sometimes in these rooms. But we're There's my 2 slow draft picks. Now I got nothing. Now, oh, am I on the clock for another one now? Wait, let's see. No, it just says I'm on the clock, even though I'm not on the clock. No, I am on the clock. Okay. We got one more. Here we go. Oh, the way to check is just to click the constants in the lobby and see how many out of 12. Okay. I guess we could do that way too. It doesn't show you on the desktop, though, I think is the issue. Yeah, only on the app version. Really, suboptimal. Suboptimal right now. All right, my last slow draft pick, unless another one comes along. We got a 2-2-5-0. We got Jaden and Bo Nix. I guess I got frisky here with my 2 Week 12 bye QBs. A Bucky, James Conner start. Jefferson, McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Emeka Egbuka, who I really don't love taking too much, but I took him here. I feel like I take a lot of Sharbs in these kind of situations as my RB3. I should probably start to take more Bashal Tootin, even though I think his ADP is going to come down because he's not guaranteed anything in terms of a role. Yeah, I spent enough receiver capital to not go Bateman. I'm going to go Charbonnet. All right, so the picks so far here in this one, 2-3-5-0. We got our 2 Week 12 bye QBs with Jaden and Bo Nix. At RB, Bucky, James Conner, Zach Charbonnet. So not the double bimodal RB up top with Bucky and Bijan. So we got to get some more RB capital in. At receiver, Jefferson, McLaurin, Sutton, Golden, Egbuka. Yeah, I've been doing slow drafts for what feels like a month now. But I had to felt the schnauzer when I wasn't going to do it in real time. So filling out the schnauzer, we're doing it. All right. Oh, good. My alarm going off here. And okay, so you said you could see it on desktop. Where would I see it on desktop? If I click this, maybe? Oh, draft now. Yeah, 10 out of 12. We still need 2 people. For the love of God, guys, please join this drafters draft. One of you can end my suffering. I have no more slow drafts to do on Underdog. So I need you guys to join this drafters draft right now if you want to see content from me. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here, kick my feet up. Oh, actually, do I have another slow draft? I might have another slow draft developing. Boy, they're all breaking at a favorable time, I think. Okay, here we go. I got one more slow draft. This is awful content, guys, but I'm paralyzed. I'm hopeless until you guys can fill drafters. 1-4-6-0. We got Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris, and Jaden Blue. I really have a hard time clicking Jaden Blue, but I'm trying to do it. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. So your Philly double. Ricky Pearsall, Cooper Kupp, Keon Coleman. So it'd be nice to get something Buffalo related as a bring back. That's not really there. Still need more at RB. Tyjae Spears is here. It's probably as simple as that. Yeah. I love Tyjae Spears. Tyjae Spears and Braylon Allen. 2 very easy clicks for me in every room. Let's talk about that on the Discord with the guy Emo Cowboy earlier. But really, you're trying to make it up at RB. Spears has a role. Braylon Allen has a role. We're live. There we go. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. We're live. We did it. We filled 8 minutes. It's tougher than it felt. I think it's because this is the second draft. Like, I don't have any football takes to get out that I haven't gotten out before. So I got out everything I needed to on Stochastic. Now we just have to do my slow drafts. That's the process, though, you know? Oh, okay. And I mentioned this on the last stream. I'll show you guys real fast because we got here. I'll click start draft. I'm ready. Let's draft. So Kitty, our puppy, enormous now. First of all, look at her. She might not look that big. Let me see if I can hold her up. You get the whole. So this is a big dog. She gained 9 pounds. 9 pounds. I took her to the vet for a Lyme disease shot 3 weeks ago. It feels like too much for a dog to gain. She did have Giardia, so I think it could be like the parasites leaving her or whatever, and now she's putting on calories. This dog is fucking enormous out of nowhere. She's 27 pounds. We thought there's a shot she wouldn't hit 30. But Kitty the dog, for your updates here, because she is usually next to me in the studio here many days. Kitty the dog is getting larger by the day in a really, frankly, in an alarming way, is what I'll say. You can also note I Am the KY is a new version of the Splash Play avatar, which seems to be it vomiting profusely, as that looks like. The AI avatar is getting worse, I Am the KY, but I appreciate your support on these Drafters times as always. We got a lot of filler names, though. We got Chunk the Deuce here. Mongoose, I believe, is also in chat. I think that's Strader Joe. Team Skank, I know, is in the chat. I'm the KY, Mr. Poopy Butthole. And of course, our protagonist, me, in the 11 hole. My 12th drafters draft of the year. Would still like to hit 150, but I gotta like do more off stream if I'm gonna do that. And I don't really have it in me. We'll get a bunch of drafters drafts up this year though on stream. That is the goal. As long as they pay my invoice for the month. That's the goal. That's also really the goal, to get my invoices paid. McCaffrey at pick 7 here. I get liking McCaffrey. Just really nothing that he got last year is the reason to do it. And frankly, I'd still take Genty over McCaffrey at this point. Might be one of those things that people on Twitter will get mad about in hindsight and go, he said on stream he'd take Genty over McCaffrey. And then but McCaffrey flipped him over the summer when all the sharp casual drafters came in who love to jam in old RBs. Like, McCaffrey just didn't get the work last year. He's supposedly healthy again, but like healthy doesn't mean to drive the guy into the ground when he's got a lot of miles in the tires. I'm just not really sold that he gets used the way that people are going to take him at pick 7, want him to be used. We got a discount here on Puka Nacua, though. Him at pick 11, I think I'll scoop that up anytime. Puka Nacua here. First click for me. We'll see we get on the way back. Derrick Henry. If this were a DraftKings or Underdog draft, getting that easy Rams-Atlanta correlation with Puka Nacua and Drake London would absolutely be the thing. But here we are on drafters. I think we want some more projectable points at RB, so Derrick Henry is my click. And frankly, if I'm going to get an old RB, Henry at 14 compared to McCaffrey at 7, I would rather make that click pretty handily. Baltimore is going to be good. Baltimore is your top implied total team for the year. Also your top implied total for week 15 through 17 for the playoffs. In terms of the scores there that Vegas expects them to put up. And Derrick Henry was a huge part of that. Obviously, you have sometimes he won't be on the field when Baltimore plays from behind. When Baltimore's in a lot of third longs, Derrick Henry won't be out there. But for a guy at his age to have put up positive EPA numbers per rush, per target as well, and I'll give the numbers again because I think he had quietly one of the most impressive numbers or seasons of the year. I would say 1-to-1 with Saquon. But a 0.1 EPA per rush, 0.26 EPA per target, 20% avoided tackle rate for like a fucking old guy. 3.3 red zone rushes a game, 0.3 red zone targets a game. It's not Saquon level work in the red zone, which I think would be your one disqualifier. It's not even Mixon level work in the red zone. But the efficiency stuff, the avoided tackle rate being there for a guy who's fucking 32. I don't know, man. Derrick Henry just might be the exception. That should be his nickname, really. It's just the exception. Does Derrick Henry have like a real nickname? I know he had like DH. I feel like people call him maybe. I don't recall Derrick Henry having a real nickname. He should. I feel like if you've been a good RB for a decade, you need like the mountain, big mashed potato. I don't know. Fucking something. Dreads. King Henry. Yeah. I guess that's it. He doesn't deserve to be king, though. And like LeBron is the real king. You can't be king. I don't know. You should be King Henry. I think Big Mashed Potato is more on the nose. Yeah, I guess King Henry because his last name's Henry, I guess. But I don't know, man. LeBron takes too much ownership over King. I don't like it for him. And I wouldn't say Derrick Henry's the king of RBs either. He's probably one of the best longitudinal careers. But I still wouldn't say he's the king of RBs. And even then, you have to compete with Emmitt Smith, so you're never going to be the best long-term RB. But good call. Good call. All right. Puka Nacua, Derrick Henry start here. Okay with that. The people Thursday, well, if you enjoyed our first take on it, Thursday will be, I'm going to try to make it recurring as much as I can, will be our joint stream, by which I mean I will literally smoke a joint on stream here. The bad boy of best ball has to spark him up here on Thursdays, 420 streams. But check that out on Thursday here. Not doing it on Tuesdays because I got to usually pick up the kid. Not today because Alex is doing it, but usually I have to. This weekend, though, they're out of town. So I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do for 4 days. Take care of Kitty, go on walks, work out a little, maybe play some basketball in the yard, but I don't really, when you don't have the kid and the wife here, boy, your fucking calendar really frees up in a way I'm not emotionally prepared for. And I'll have the car too, so I don't know. Adventure, right? AKA me getting stoned. on the couch ordering out. All right. We got pick 3 coming up. I am a bad boy on Thursdays. It does feel like one of those things that feels really taboo to smoke a joint on stream, even though it's legal. Like it's medicinally legal here in Pennsylvania. But it's like, it's not taboo. Like boomers fucking take edibles. So I don't really feel that crazy about it. We got Kyron Williams here. If we want to take another RB and make the Rams bet further. Again, I do think that carries us further on drafters. Do you like Mike Evans? I think this guy would like an RB though with his 2 wide receiver start. So let's go Kyron Williams. I'm an RB piggy. I'll play the GIF. I don't care. 2025, year of the RB pig. Still going to do it smarter than the guys who don't understand best ball do it and take too many RBs up top. But I'll take 2 RBs in the first 3 rounds sometimes. I'll take that Bijan Bucky combo whenever I can get it. I won't follow it with Chase Brown like this guy did, but I do love the Bucky Bijan start. Love the Saquon Bucky start. Don't mind the Saquon Jonathan Taylor start either. But I think it's a better pocket to go. We'll see. I think it's a better pocket to go 2 RBs over here to start because you get good run of receivers coming up for the next 6-7 rounds. Here, maybe not so much, but I was going to take Mike Evans in my last pick anyway, and I got him back. So this worked out really well for me. Mike Evans, come on down. Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans. It's a frisky start. I'm putting up some clean teams on drafters, man. I wouldn't be shocked if I have, again, my best year on drafters. That's it. If I didn't work for a professional sports team and umpire baseball for a living, I'd do the same. Oh, there you go. What sport? We don't need to out Chunk. Chunk, our most interesting man, though, for sure. Always got a lot going on. But yeah, I think to me, again, it's really one of those things where, like, yeah, could I spam a bunch of receivers in a row like KY is doing here? It's still fun to do for sure. But I think really trying to build more balanced teams is going to be a focal point for me because I think my player takes are better than most people's. I think my structure is better than most people's in general. So just making sure to hit that RB draft capital bucket a little bit earlier is one of my goals for the year. And I'm pulling it off pretty well. And frankly, I think managing the teams well enough with the balancing, even though it does suck to not have like your 5 really loaded feeling wide receivers. But the RB prices are too good. And the board's balanced enough. I don't know. We got to show some love if you can. The Tuesday streams, I have to admit, are like the least watched streams. I got to figure out a better time. I don't even know if I'm competing with anything. I just like the stochastic stream. I feel like don't get a ton of views on Tuesday. Here, I don't, whatever. I still show up and do the work. It's really the main thing here. I make a promise every year to do a certain amount of content, whether it is for basketball in the NBA on my @SplashPlay Bets channel. Follow through on that. Here's best ball drafts on the Splash Play Pod channel. Same thing here. So I'm showing you guys my drafters drafts, showing you my DraftKings drafts, showing you my underdog drafts, and not all of them this year, but doing all the platforms in a way that hopefully makes me unique in the space. And no matter what, if you guys want to fade my takes, follow them. I would encourage you to follow them, but I'll give you my thoughts always. And I'll come about them earnestly, as intelligently as I can. And we'll see. And then we'll see how things go when it actually matters in 6 months, 7 months, I suppose, technically. But we're now under 100 days to the NFL season starting. So really, if your goals are to max out some platforms this year, you got to start to make some strides towards it. I've been trying to chip away at BBM first because I think that's going to be the one that, frankly, I just like the way the board aligns the most. And that's the one I definitely need to 150 max for the sake of all the people drafting me in that Justin Herzig tournament, if nothing else. But after that, going to focus more on drafters and DraftKings, my hope. YouTube didn't send me a notification. Could be something to do with it. Could be on my end. I don't know. Yeah, please turn on the notifications if you can, and show up here. Again, I do go at weird times. Always try to have the stream going by when I say I'm gonna have it going in the scheduled time, but you know the deal. Jack says, I love the Tuesday streams, and the PGA sickos have to watch back the Thursday, Friday streams. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that, Jack. Glad to hear it. Like Jack rising up my personal community rankings. Giving me some good chats always here. Goes a long way. Still going for all 3 Browns. It's a tough one to pull off. We're talking about Amon-Ra, AJ. Who's the 3rd Brown? Am I missing a Brown here? Surprised YouTube isn't making a title. Oh, yeah, it could be it too. I mean, look, so the Stephon Diggs thing, he is in the thumbnail. Oh, Chase Brown. Good call. Diami Brown. Diami Brown you could almost definitely get for KY later on in the draft. Yeah, the Diggs thing. So, first of all, I got to say one thing that made me feel like a real boomer, and I've never been big in like hardcore drug culture besides smoking weed and whatever, and very occasionally, sporadically doing coke or Molly, and like literally less than probably 10 times combined for both those. I didn't know there was a drug called 2C, number one, that was supposedly what people thought was the pink drug, where it's a combo of like Molly, coke, and possibly fentanyl and some other stuff. So that's weird that Diggs did that. Then I think it was something Crack Rock, who I guess I presume would know, was saying it's like pink Peruvian cocaine. I don't know the deals with that. We're on the clock. We got Waddle, Ridley, Godwin. Waddle's coming up in price. We don't get the week 17 correlation. I like Ridley more. I'm going to take Ridley here. But I would say that for the drug thing. So number one, the fact you're doing that while your team is in OTA is kind of insane. There were then the reports that Diggs might get cut, which the Patriots immediately tried to put some water on and said they're not going to do that. But apparently before he gets his injury, before he actually passed the physical, they could cut him with less money on the line. It would cost him, I think, only 14 mil. It's supposed to be on the hook for like all the guarantee. So there's some logic to why they might cut him, especially if they really like the rookies and felt like they could do the job. But Diggs, the big thing is like, he's been so expensive. I know I've talked about my FUD, my anti-belief in Diggs before, but now you have him like not being on the ball, doing coke with fucking influencers with his girlfriend. Like, well, like, what are we doing, man? Like, that's not what you want to see from a 32-year-old receiver coming off an ACL tear. I don't care if he's moving around the field and whatever. I just don't really get what we're going for there. Godwin came back around again. I'm going to go Godwin. So we got Henry, Kyron, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin. This team feels loaded. We don't have the elite QB like a lot of guys have. Don't have one of the 3 elite tight ends. But I like this team a lot. I mean, a little bit of value on Evans and Godwin maybe is enough to make this feel special, and Puka. Yeah, little value special here. We got Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, and Chris Godwin. I'm happy with that start. Just got to make sure we don't get sniped on the QBs we need the most. Peruvian cocaine was my nickname at the gay police force. Happy Pride Month to the gay police force. It's like a speedball. We'll take out Chris Farley and powder substance with pink dye. Bad stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's just dye. It's not like Breaking Bad where it comes across the natural chemical process, because that'd be more fun. Boots on the Ground report. 2C is a drug of choice in Colombia. It's been around 10 plus years. Doesn't have coke in it, but does have meth. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'd seen it on Reddit that they were calling it. They said it had coke. I think it was coke, Molly / ecstasy, and then I think possibly fentanyl and maybe speed. There was one other thing in there besides if it didn't have fentanyl. I don't know. Either way, it's not what you want a guy you just paid fucking 70 mil to. I think dude, when he's already probably washed. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's a good scene for his ADP overall in general right now for Stephon Diggs. I also don't think in general like that it was a good contract in the first place for a guy coming off an ACL tear. I think New England just needed a free agency win for this new regime, and there's like that was the one player you can get because they couldn't get Godwin. Their other damaged goods pick they wanted to get. So instead they went Diggs' way, and he's willing to take the money because nobody else really wanted him. But I don't know. Like I think that's like suspendable. Like is that kind of thing you get a suspension for? Because commissioner could put him on the exempt list for that, getting captured in public with it. Obviously he hasn't yet. But the knee injury too, put him on the PUP list. I still think that's a likely outcome. I know he's running around and moving a little bit on the field, but like he's not involved in drills or anything. It's not him being so far ahead. I just don't get it. You do have your fastball. So does Stephon Diggs. He's got speed balls, if not his fastball. Solid draft board. Yeah, I hope Trader Joe's having a good draft from how he views it. You're the one, you're Mongoose, right? With Chase and Burrow. I think it's him. But yeah, I'm liking the start. So we'll see how we do here. And guys, show some love if you can. Again, these videos on Tuesdays, I'm just going to get my ass kicked views-wise. It is what it is. Subscribe down below with the like button. Leave a comment. Again, your support goes a long way for me here. Just one dude showing you my gambling as honestly, as earnestly as I can, as always. And I've done for multiple years on stream. And that's going to be what happens all summer long here. So please strap in, subscribe, hit the like button, and go check out Drafters as well. Promo code SPLASH on Drafters, $100 deposit match. It's a great site to play on. Again, big wins have come my way. Literally the fact that I finished top 10 on 3 entries for playoff best ball. Like, I just don't, I wouldn't have expected that. Even for me, I'm very confident in my drafting ability, even for playoff best ball. But like to have that run out, like I just don't think it's possible on other sites. And it's not even trying to speak ill of them. It's more to speak to the opportunity you have. You do play on Drafters. So check it out for yourself. Promo code SPLASH on Drafters, $100 deposit match. And hop in and have some fun. Okay. One of my picks, I think, has to be going up to get Baker Mayfield. He's too valuable to the team now. I do like getting DeAndre Swift here. I think that'd be a good click. And I'm going to do that first. Have to assume this guy would not take an unstacked Baker Mayfield. And if he does, just fuck me again. I just, then I have to just always take QB early, no matter where the ADP is, I guess. But I'm going to hope this guy doesn't take Baker Mayfield because he's done a logical draft so far. That would not be a logical pick for him. But let's see what he does. You'll not strap in, McCann strap on. Thank you. The same thing. Trader Joe is in fact Mongoose. Okay, I'll remember at some point. If you guys all pick the same usernames as your chat names, it'll be easier for my quickly senile advancement brain, which is not real words. Senile advancing brain, that might be it. He's taking the whole clock as Rich Sweat here, but I'll allow it as long as he doesn't take Baker Mayfield. As long as we're okay with that, take all the clock you need, Rich. We've got time today. All right. Baker Mayfield, come on down. What a fucking clean start. Baker Mayfield, Derrick Henry, Kyren Williams, DeAndre Swift, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin. Fifth receiver is going to be a dramatic fall off from the top four, but I love this team. I am absorbing the risk for Chris Godwin. Actually curious here if Tyler has any thoughts on Chris Godwin's injury thing, because the ankle dislocation or whatever happened with him, the fact that he's not back out there running does spook me a little bit. And I know not everybody cares about wrestling stuff. So don't care about the wrestling part if you don't need to. There was a similar injury. If you guys follow AEW at all, Adam Cole was a guy who hurt his foot and ankle where he had stepped off a stage weirdly, cracked his foot and ankle a little bit. I think the ankle dislocated with it. It took him a long time to get back out there. And obviously, wrestling, you're theoretically able to come back faster than you are in an actual sport because you can't cover up, I have to cut this way. In football, where you can cover that up, in wrestling because it's scripted or whatever. So the ankle thing, I haven't worried about because it's they paid him huge money, and I would think when a guy gets paid huge money coming off the injury, you shouldn't worry about it. It's weird he's not back out there. It's weird that Godwin's not out there right now, and I get why the markets are a little bit concerned / dropping him. But I don't know. I keep taking him. I just worry he's going to be like an 80 ADP guy, 90 ADP guy, and I'm buying the falling knife a little bit. Again, Tyler follows stuff really closely. So Doc's last few months seem to think week 1 is probable. There's potential for less efficient dip the first 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks rather, but volume can alleviate that until he returns to form. TBD until he's back on the field. Okay. Fair enough. But the docs and teams seem to think he's fine. His OTAs don't matter, and they are voluntary, even though I know the teams say that sometimes in a way to kind of pour water when players aren't there so they can kind of cover their own ass with how that goes. But to just not see a guy out there even doing, the side field running stuff, it worries me a little bit more with Godwin. I'm willing to absorb the risk, but if you guys are risk averse, in particular about injuries, maybe don't buy Godwin as much as I do. But I don't know. He's cheap enough to be in the 60s. If he's going 70s or 80s, he'll be way too cheap for me. A pretty fun little balanced team so far. Need to make it up at tight end a little. But I think we'll have opportunities to do that. Statements from team haven't shifted since February and March. Yeah, which is odd because you'd expect some sort of progress update 3 months later, But hey, that's the Chris Godwin situation. I still, though, even with Chris Godwin having this weird thing hanging over him, still would rather have Chris Godwin over Stephon Diggs by a good margin. In fact, here are the players I would take over Stephon Diggs in this range. Godwin, yes. Olave, yes. Judy still yes. Addison, yes. Debo, yes. Pearsall, I think yes. Odunze, yes. Golden, yes. Shakir, yes. Myers, yes. Cup, yes. Mooney, yes. Diggs to me should be in the uncertain Ayuk range, I think. If Ayuk's going to go 90 with age more on his side, and frankly, he was also really good last year. Diggs was fine. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. I just think Diggs is, to me, 13 picks too expensive right now. And that's without the pup list thing that could be a pretty decent possibility as well. All right, so need more at receiver. I do like Keon Coleman as my 5th receiver, and I've done that a good amount. We can get week 17 correlation with Jonnu Smith. Not that we need it, but it is a little boost on drafters. I'll take Keon Coleman here. Just got to get the 5th receiver in. I think Bateman would have been a good click as well. I like him as a 5th receiver. Both guys, frankly, would have been a good click. And Johnny Smith goes, so no week 17 correlation. Coach said training camp is always a target for Chris Godwin to give progress update and see how he's doing. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. For Chris Godwin too, multiple reoccurring lower leg injuries. Maybe you just want to play it more cautiously as well. Okay. Don't think it's time for QB2 yet. Very familiar clicks in this range. Najee. Najee I don't take a ton of because I do think Hampton fucks up that role a little bit, but he can go. Again, Bateman was in the hunt for me last time. Shaheed I also like. I'll go Bateman though. I worry a little bit about how DeAndre Hopkins cuts into Bateman's overall opportunity. Just taking some outside receiver routes away, and he's been meaningfully involved with the first team so far in OTAs. But they do different stuff. Obviously, Bateman more your downfield receiver. I just think it maybe puts a cap on Bateman's upside with him not being able to take, the goal line kind of touchdown opportunities away, or red zone touchdowns that Hopkins has always done well with. I think that's always something that worries me a little bit about, blocking guys' ascendance basically to a better role. And frankly, Tez Walker being involved too is probably not great for Bateman, even though Tez should kind of safely settle in as the backup X receiver or Z receiver. But I think for Bateman, still a good click to me as wide receiver 6. I just don't think I need an RB that bad. True Serum, I have 0% digs pre and post draft with a 2-year rule in ACLs and is heavily enforced on 30-plus-year-old guys. I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys you miss out on if you have that rule. Like, I could see taking digs, especially, people out there love Drake May. Obviously, the legendary upside pilling of people. They've all been talking to Drake May a lot. I am not nearly as sold on Drake May, but if you like him, Diggs is your obvious target to get with him because he's spiked before. I mean, even for Houston last year, he really wasn't that great. Still had a couple 2-touchdown games. If I'm remembering correctly, definitely had at least one. So he spiked an upside there when he was clearly the least explosive receiver out of the top 3, and frankly, probably closer to Schultz than he would like to be compared to where he was in the past. So there's a case to be made for Diggs, I think in particular if you like May. But I'm comfortable not taking him. You have too many bodies there. You still have draft capital that went to Polk, that went to that went to Javon Baker last year. You still have Pop Douglas there as a slot guy that they can trust to some extent. You added in Mac Hollins, where I don't know how much that matters, but teams seem to always flock to playing Mac Hollins more. And frankly, a run-heavy team like the Patriots should be, given that they hired Mike Vrabel and brought in Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, would think that they're going to probably like the fact that Hollins could be out there, be an aggressive blocker. And then obviously drafting Kyle Williams too. That's another one. Butte apparently is in better shape as well. And fucking Efton Chisholm, I don't think has any pathway to actually playing. But you're now talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, Kendrick Bourne has been a part of the team for long enough. 6, 7, 8. And then this guy's got buzz on him. 9 guys for an offense that's probably not going to pass at the highest volume. I just don't see the logic myself. But if anybody's going to, pop out of the room, it's probably Diggs. I would guess just based on the historical stuff, but the video is turning into a Diggs bash fest. Granted, you don't see a lot of guys brazenly bringing out colorful drugs. I guess he didn't necessarily. Well, it was an Instagram live, right? It wasn't even paparazzi, so he should have fucking known, been smarter than that. Really, I just think in every possible respect, Diggs is a bad click right now in a way that doesn't happen often in best ball. And I'm surprised he's frankly had as high of an ADP as he's had. Getting as much money as he did, I guess, is part of that. But he's to me a very obvious candidate to not pay off with that money. All right, fans. CLN's got 14% Diggs, probably a little more than I want. Probably want to be around 9 to 11%. Yeah, you want to be above the field. I certainly would not want him to be a 2x the field stand, but obviously people can follow their hearts. Everybody takes as valid as at this point as mine will be. Maybe you get him being the AJ Brown in that old Tennessee offense. So, we'll see. He could also just be Devontae Adams in the Josh McDaniels offense, and that might be enough to pay off that ADP as well. All right, on the clock here, coming up in a moment. Whenever Mr. Poopy Butthole wraps his pickup. Really not a spot I think we need to go get QB yet. That we're getting close. Jaden Blue here. I think works as a big swing. We do have Rachaad White here for some more correlation if we want. But I think we take the big swing on Jaden Blue. We've got Derrick Henry. We've got Kyron. We've got DeAndre Swift. We've got projectable guys that I think could be enough to carry this room anyway. So adding on Jaden Blue on top, big swing at RB. Still think he's not really. I wish Cam Scadaboo had gone to Dallas. If Cam Scadaboo had gone to Dallas, I'd be like, well, fuck, he should steal this job. Like, he should win this job. He's the most talented guy. Jaden Blue's the best athlete. I don't know that he's the best running back right now out of that group of obviously having Miles Sanders, who's not great, but he is a veteran RB who's been proven to be trustworthy in a lot of situations. Javonte Williams, coaches seem to like him enough, even when he's got no juice. I think those guys are real meaningful blockers to Blue. I think this kind of team is where you can take that shot on Blue and hope he pans out, because I don't think he's a better bet than Tootin, and I don't really like Tootin as a bet. At least at his current ADP. We got six receivers, 4 RBs, excuse me. Want to get more in at tight end for sure. Rachaad White, though, can kind of make us feel done at RB. I'm going to go Tyler Warren here. I'm going to soak up a little bit of value on him. Warren, I think now that his ADP is settling 130 to 150 range, I can live with him as a pick more so. I think the odds of Daniel Jones winning that job also makes me a little more inclined for Tyler Warren. As Tyler Warren will be the pick for me. So the team so far, Baker Mayfield at QB, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift, and Jaden Blue is our big swing at RB. Receiver room is really good to me. Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, like all those teams, like all those offenses, like all the offensive shares these guys have of their teams. Keon Coleman's my wide receiver 5, Bateman at 6. Just couldn't pass up those both guys, with them both being players I like a lot as a wide receiver 5. And then Tyler Warren here as the last pick in round 12. So let's start. Shotty just said some really solid coach speak about Sanders. Sanders reportedly has juice early and splitting with ones and OTAs. That's not surprising to me. I mean, I said it before, like I thought that Javonte and Sanders are very similar bets and should be priced more similarly. The market clearly decided on Javonte more so, but neither really got paid money that matters. Miles Sanders wasn't great last year. I mean, let's see, Sanders last year, not Miles Boykin. Oof, really bad EPA per target, negative 0.6 EPA per target, negative 0.08 EPA per rush. You could live with that. 16% avoided tackle rate for Sanders. 25% target per out run. They did try to throw him the ball. He was just awful when they did. Javonte, worse in the rushing EPA, negative 0.16 EPA per rush. Avoided tackle rate was worse as well, 12.6%. EPA per pass was better, negative 0.05. Neither of those is good. Yeah, the issue with Dallas is like neither RB is good. Dallas could fall in love with either, and it wouldn't be shocking. It could also be a thing where they split inefficient work for a while and Jaden Blue comes on late. But Blue himself, again, just another guy who's like a decent athlete, but not a shifty guy overall. Avoided tackle rate for him, I think, is at 20%. Might be lower in college. Jaden Blue, looking at my college data. 19.4% avoided tackle rate for Jaden Blue, only 14 opportunities a game, 0.001 EPA per rush. So you're basically talking flat average. I don't know. Jaden Blue, just really nothing special. Cam Scadaboo, special, I think, in terms of the analytics. Some of the other guys in the class you can make the case for. Travion Henderson, I think, has some good EPA stuff. RJ Harvey, good EPA stuff. Devin Neal, some good efficiency. Genty, obviously, a high avoided tackle rate guy, high efficiency, with flaws in the pass game. Like all the guys that are in other spots, I feel like you could make a better case for than Blue. But I took Blue, so what are we going to do? All right. Got a couple picks coming up here, round 13, round 14. And keep adding at tight end for now, and that would be okay. But I'm actually going to take another QB here. I'm going to go Matthew Stafford. I think this feels like a 3 QB build to me, and I'm just going to take my second QB and possibly my third, depending upon what Rich Sweat gives me around the bend. But a Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford start. Obviously, Stafford, we're not expecting to give us much in the rushing game. Baker will give us some, so that's a positive. That's the thing, though. It's not with Schottenheimer being the coach and with them bringing in a tight end coach to be the offensive coordinator. I don't really think they're going to pass a lot. So I think they're going to run really efficiently a lot. Um, but I mean, unless, and then I think defense too should be good enough to not play them out of games. But I really don't think they're going to pass enough either, which is part of why I don't like Dallas. Cam Ward going to be my other pick here. We obviously have our bet on Calvin Ridley, could add late tight end on, could add late receiver on. So 3 QBs right now: Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. More pocket based than rushing based at QB for this group of 3, but they're stacked fairly well. Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift. Jaden Blue is our RB room. Love the top 3. Blue is the one with the question marks, but he is a big swing. Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Keon Coleman, Rashad Bateman, and a tight end, Tyler Warren. So as long as we stick to landing a tight end, add some depth at receiver, I think I'm going to be okay here. I like this team. Really, I think on a streak of really nice draft receipts. I think I'm getting this. I feel like honestly, out of all the sites, like I've done the most underdog drafts, so I feel good about the ADPs and how I kind of manage them there. But I think in terms of like my second group, and honestly too, because underdog is just tougher overall, I've been putting up better drafter drafts than I think than the other platforms, at least the last couple of weeks. But shout out to all you guys hanging out. Again, if you get value out of this content, please do show some love. Join Drafters if you're not on there yet. Promo code SPLASH at Drafters gets you a $100 deposit match. Great site to play on. They also support the channel directly. So a really big part of this channel this year is Drafters supporting the best ball community by giving me the opportunity to do drafts on every platform. And they're footing the bill for me to do it. So check out Drafters' $100 deposit match, and I do appreciate their support of this channel. And frankly, the big thing too is that your money will go further because of that total points format. Because a lot of you guys too understand structure well enough, understand player takes well enough. I think you'll carry yourself further on Drafters. But play on every platform if you can. But I would say at the very least, get your 10 entries in on Drafters in the big tournament. Get the free entries that come with that as well. Take some of the bonus deals they have that come up on Drafters a lot. They do a lot of happy hour kind of bonus drafts as well. So check it out for yourself if you want. Drafters.com. Promo code SPLASH, or download the Drafters app as well. Same deal. All right. Stretch here for the last couple picks. You got to get loose because, I really feel like this is a nice team. I like this team a lot. Really, if I'd gotten like a little bit of the better player than Jaden Blue, I don't know who it would be in that range, but somebody just a little bit more confident than that, I think this team would be like one of my favorite teams of the year. Maybe give me a running QB too. Give me Justin Fields as my QB2, and that would be also more appealing to me. But besides that, I like the team a lot. Let's see what all these silly geese try to compete with me. So the good news is they wanted to see this team in a pod, so that's a positive. And I guess while we're waiting here, I'll give a shout out to all the people who've signed up on Drafters because I do think that probably helps with conversions. Shout out to David who signed up. I think he uses his real name as his username. Jensi's Diastema we've talked about. Omega Haga, J-Jax, Saggy Grannies. Really, I bring the best usernames out of you guys in the community. Shout out to all these names. Slay King, Urinal Pube, I'm Funny-Yo, T. Kimball, Lima Time, I'm the KY. Some of the folks that have signed up so far in this run of us doing Drafters drafts. So shout out to all you guys who've joined on Drafters and do check it out for yourself. And if you're like, I am the KY, he's already got 15 entries in. So you must be enjoying the experience to some extent, I hope. It's a very clean room overall. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't pay enough attention to other people's teams unless I see something they're doing really weird. But I think because of the fact it is a friends and family kind of draft for the most part, and the randos we have in here didn't do anything upsetting in any way. Hopefully everybody got what they wanted out of this room. I think this could be some people's best teams. Definitely the team I like a lot, at least for early June draft. Oh boy, what is Mr. Poopy Butthole gonna do? 10 seconds. He's thinking about it. 600 Henry. Brenton Strange coming all the way back here to pick 179. I like that. Nice ADP value on Strange. I'm a big fan of Brenton Strange. I think people are sleeping on him a little bit. Think that when you have 2 good target earners potentially in Travis Hunter and also obviously Brian Thomas Jr., and you're adding in guys who get schemed pretty well like Diami Brown, and people too like compare it to K. Dot and go like, oh, Brenton Strange is not going to get there because Liam Cohen didn't use tight end a ton until everybody went out. Doesn't really matter. Brenton Strange is kind of a different player. I think a better athlete than K. Dotton. I think a more dangerous red zone threat than K. Dotton. As a target earner, he picked up 22% target per out run last year. Otten picked up 22.7, so pretty close there. He might just be fancy Kate Otten, but I can live with that. I think he's likely to be your third best receiving target for Jacksonville. Speaking of, we got Kate Otten here. I'll take him too. I can add another RB on like Justice Hill, Marshawn Lloyd, but we got the Baker stack. I think we could use a third tight end with Tyler Warren being tight end 1. So Tyler Warren, Bretton Strange, Kate Otten are tight ends. At QB, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. I think we are live for potentially, I might do 5 tight ends for this build because I think I can get away with it. An RB, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift, Jaden Blue, again, really cozy with the RB room, the top 3 in particular. Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Keon Coleman, Rashad Bateman as a receiver room. Definitely want to add some more at receiver. But tight end is the weakest room part of my team so far by a pretty good margin. So I think chasing that with a couple more picks would not be a bad idea. Goose's turn was a bit wild. Are those both naked? Mongoose. Yeah, it looks like he did take naked to and naked Gino. Maybe a little panic from our guy Mongoose. I mean, you got Joe Burrow as QB1, so you don't have to panic necessarily. But it is tough because like late QB, it's basically now Tyler Shuck or nothing. So you're kind of fucked on there. Sure, I got Bindles. Saw Bindles had the Coach Weekend Next guy on this week. Look at some guests for the Ballsy streams with Fantasy Football Garage, another good part of the community here in previous times. So shout out to Bindles, what he's doing. Working harder than I am. I just show up and do my gambling. I don't do guest booking. I've got, especially after after Twitter turned on me. Now I have an excuse to not do guest booking for another year. So I'm really crushing it in terms of making this as easy as possible for myself. They will book some guests at some point this summer, but not yet. Wanted to book my pal Eric Lindquist on the Sarcastic streams, but unfortunately we have overlapping streams in that time period. So that was really, every time I have an attempt at guest booking, it's like, oh, this person's like away for a couple weeks. Oh, this person's like, can't do it this time. And I just go like, fuck it. And I give up and I hope that we'll just get to hang out together. But guys, speaking of, show some love if you can. Subscribe down below. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. All goes a long way from here. Just one dude showing you my gambling and best ball and stream. Of course, other sports as well. NFL DFS when we're in season. NBA DFS right now on the Splash Play Bets channel. MLB coming probably after that ends. After the NBA season, after the finals end. So stay tuned for that on the Splash Play Bets channel. But, the work continues on here no matter what. I got a lot of drafts to still get in. And you'll get at least a portion of them here on stream. We'll see what we get on the way back. I feel like the clock is slowing down on the home stretch. This is my 12th draft on Drafters. I think I've also got 13 on DraftKings in the big tournament on there. On Underdog, I've gotten like 35 in BBM. I've gotten really heavy on BBM because just been feeling it lately. Get 34 BBMs done. Highest exposed guys in BBM right now. Make sure this is all of them. Probably going to be Ty J. It's Ty J, Rashad Bateman, Justice Hill, DeAndre Swift, Cam Ward, Bryce Young. Cam Scattaboo is up to 24% for me in BBM. Surprises me a little bit. All right, pick coming up here. Deal with overlapping streams with the fellows, and I drank too much, and the sword fight started. Different kinds of overlapping streams, I suppose. We got Juwan Johnson here. I think it would be another good tight end click. Though not correlated. And I'm just going to do that. I really don't know what Woody Marks does for the team. People have liked Woody Marks in drafts. I've never been a fan. As I've talked about, he just wasn't that good at USC. I don't expect to be much better for Houston unless Joe Mixon goes down. But Woody Marks not working with the first team at all, basically as part of the group of secondary backs. So for Woody Marks, I would really knock him down in drafts. So he did just go here, but I would knock him down. I think it's time for another receiver. Tutu went. Shit. Jalen Royals? Got it. Okay. Wow. That was really close. We got Jalen Royals in here as wide receiver 7. Barely got that click in. Thought Tutu Atwell would still be available. I didn't see him go. Tutu went in round 17. Okay. So Tutu went. Oof. For the Rams, I really don't know who else you'd want. I guess I could go with Whittington again, though I don't like that as a click at all this year. And for Tampa Bay, we got nobody late. Tennessee, we have a few guys we could take late, though I think we lost out on Lockett already. Lockett went. I know Ayumanor went. Yeah, we lost out a lot of the cheap parts of these potential QB stacks. So I'm just going to take dudes that I think are good late clicks. The team so far, though, give it one more read. We got Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. At RB, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift, Jaden Blue. You can make the case to add one more RB on. I don't know what it really does for the team, but I think just in terms of balancing things a little bit better, 5 RBs in a 20-round draft probably should be the move. But I'm okay with it. Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Keon Coleman, Rashad Bateman, and Jalen Royals here. Barely got that click in. And 4 tight ends so far, not opposed to a 5th. Tyler Warren, Brenton Strange, K. Dot, and Juwan Johnson. None of them, to me, have, like, in terms of what I expect them for weekly projections, I think we're looking at 9-10 points at best. So throwing as many tight ends on the Barbie as possible, I think seems like the move. Let's see. Just making sure the smoker's temp is holding up. All right, holding steady at 225. I'm trying ribs a different way today. Usually do 2-2-1 ribs with the 2 hours on the smoker unwrapped, 2 hours wrapped, and then 1 hour you put the sauce on and crank up the heat a little bit. But I'm trying to do a 4-hour cook of it where it's a little bit slower, all on 225. Because that's what the mad scientist YouTube said, and that's what people on Reddit recommended. And I'm a sheep that is a sucker for any sort of crowdsourced thing put together. And I'm curious to see how it comes out. Apparently, it's supposed to have more bite if you leave it in for like 4 hours without the wrapping and unwrapping as much. So trying to get more bite. Trying to get more bite on my ribs. The things that you say, like sometimes like a man and a dad, a suburban dad, it's like, wow, I've really become every fucking cliche that I fought so hard to not be while being cool and living in major cities and being single later as late in life as I possibly could. And now it's like, yeah, I'm going to get some more bite on these ribs. I'm going to get competition style chew on my ribs. We're going to be crushing it. That's all I do, guys. I make good ribs. I draft good teams. These are the two things I'll promise you here on the Splash Play channel. We got a pick coming up. Mr. Poopy Butthole loves to think about these picks, so we'll give him the entire clock. He took Higbee. Out of all the guys, I didn't really need the 5th tight end, but I would have taken Higbee there. I guess that's what I get for making fun of how long he takes to click things. I'll take a shot at... Actually, you know what? Take a shot at Ty Johnson first. He could be the 5th RB. I think Ty Johnson has game scripts where he spikes, even if James Cook is healthy. We saw it happen last year, and also, I know you got Mr. Rebuttal. You did your thing. You really proved me wrong and hurt me at the same time. So that was a win-win for you. We got Restrepo. I'm going to take Restrepo here. Don't take Restrepo very often, but in a situation where we got Lockett taken, Ayumanor taken, we got Cam Ward, we'll take a shot on Restrepo. So a 3-5-8-4 build. A little bit of a delay on the notification. Gotcha. We got Baker Mayfield at QB, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. So a 3 QB room here, because I could live with the Mayfield Stafford room. I could live with the Mayfield Ward room, but we have a 20-round draft. I felt like the roster was pretty good. Definitely the flexibility to go 3 QBs. At RB, we have Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift, Jaden Blue, Ty Johnson. At receiver, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Keon Coleman, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Royals. And my first share, I think, of Xavier Restrepo in the post-NFL draft period. It took him a little bit pre-NFL draft, but I was worried he was going to be slow, and he was slow. But now he's got a good landing spot where his teammate, guy fed him well at Miami, and also Lockett's pretty displaceable. So I take Lockett enough. Probably should start to balance it out and take some more Restrepo. Lesson we learned last year from Washington's receiver core in particular. And a tight end, Tyler Warren, Brenton Strange, K. Dot, and Juwan Johnson. I would have been happy to trade taking Higbee here for one of these other guys. But I think this worked out well enough. You don't really need 5 tight ends ever. But I think 5 tight ends for this kind of team, I think would have worked well because tight end is clearly the weakest part of the team so far, or overall. But that's my draft for today, guys. I might be doing a block tomorrow. I'm not sure. I got to take the wife and kids to the airport. So we'll see how that goes. But if not, I'll be back on Thursday for sure doing another DraftKings draft and our 420 draft here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Friday, we'll be doing our 3 sites as always on there as well. So stay tuned for that one. I'm going to be up in the volume here a little bit. I still also want to try out to do some night drafts at some point if ever I can will myself to actually do content at a night period. So hit the notification bell. You guys know the deal. Subscribe as well. It goes a long way, as we always talk about on the channel. I'm just one dude showing you my gambling, dealing with whatever haters come along the way, and also just doing the best to make sure I'm doing good work no matter what. Drafting good teams, giving good takes. I do focus really hard on that here on the channel. Check out Drafters, though. $100 deposit match, promo code SPLASH if you download the Drafters app, or go to drafters.com, and it does support the channel here. The more the merrier getting in there. And again, total points format, 17 weeks there, no playoff pods. So that luck component goes out the window. You'll have a shot at finishing top 100 like I did in the big tournament a couple years ago, top 10 like I did in playoff best ball. It's easier to do it on Drafters than it is on the other site. So even if you feel like, feel like you're in a rut with your primary partner, your underdogs, your DraftKings, hop into Drafters, take a spin on there. I do think you'll build some nice teams. And shouts to all the guys who did draft with me today as well, and all the guys who signed up on Drafters. We appreciate you guys supporting the show. Gamble responsibly, guys, even though it is always money time on here. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the channel at SplashPlayPod, and I'll see you guys again soon. So, hey, enjoy your days. Good luck, and that's it. All right, bye-bye. I should have hit this button first. Bye-bye.